Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a bit of an interesting video, and by that I mean today I'm going to be re-reviewing all of the products I've reviewed so far on my channel. The reason I'm doing this is because every review I've done on my channel has been an initial thoughts, and because I've been using some of these products for a few months, my thoughts have changed, either for the good or the bad. You'll have to stay tuned to figure out. If I talk too fast for you, you can change up the speed of this video using the gear icon right down here. Second, if you're interested in a more in-depth review of each of these products, I'll leave the full brand review playlist linked up here, as well as each individual video linked down below. Third, some of these products I did not review here on YouTube. They are either I reviewed on Instagram or I'm going to just be briefly touching on today because I wanted to do some honorable mentions. And fourth, the last thing I need to say, I will not be touching on the period underwear or any period products in this video because I've now done 3 review videos, all very in-depth. First is initial thoughts, the period underwear. Second video is like a few months later thoughts on the period underwear, and the third video in that little series, I guess, is comparing period underwear to reusable pads to the menstrual cup. So I don't need to touch on those anymore. If you're interested in those videos, they'll be linked up here or down below. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Where shall I start? I think we're gonna start with laundry detergent. So I made a full in-depth laundry comparison video comparing 4 different brands of laundry detergent: TruEarth, Soap Nuts, 7th Generation, and BunchaFarmers. I love them all. I have different thoughts now about TruEarth. I still love them. It's still a great detergent. It's low waste, cost effective. It's a little pricey, honestly. But my biggest critique with this, and I know I'm gonna get comments about it, it leaves residue on my clothes. I've tried washing my clothes in warm water. I've tried tearing it into like 20 little teeny tiny strips to get them to dissolve. And no matter what, they do not dissolve unless I dissolve them in hot water first and make a liquid detergent and then pour that over my clothes. That's the only way I get these to dissolve and not leave a residue on my clothes. I have so many dark clothes now. They're not ruined, it comes off, but I pull them out of the wash and they have this residue on it. And it only happens when I use the TruEarth. I know it's not anything else. And I know other people say they don't have this problem. It might just be my washing machine. I don't know, but personally that makes me not like TruEarth entirely. I'm still gonna use them. It still works well, still smells well, but now I have to take the time to warm up some water, let it sit for a few minutes, mix it up. Not the end of the world, but not my favorite. And then honestly the same with the concentrated. It's in the bottom. I have all of it mixed into one because we're moving soon. It's still a great laundry detergent and so forth, but I just don't personally like taking the extra time to make the detergent at home. Soap Nuts are so much easier, or there's so many other options like drops that I haven't tried yet that are just you pop something in your machine and you're good to go. And it's quick and easy. And this is something that I'm really big about here on my channel, is making zero waste free, easy, and fun. This is not necessarily easy or fun for me, so it doesn't fit like my 3 pillars of zero waste. And it's not free either. So I think that's why it's kind of, again, I still recommend it, but not for me. This is a bit of a controversial one, and I have varying thoughts. That is compostable poop bags. So I made an initial review video like over a year ago, probably one of my very first videos on the channel. Then I've made a follow-up video to see if they actually decompose in your backyard, and they do. Spoiler alert. I'll leave that video link down below as well. But that was a really fun experiment and really cool to learn that they biodegrade. But then later I made a video about bioplastics, again, linked up here or down below, about how bioplastics still don't decompose in the landfill. And because you can't put this in your at-home compost, I mean you can, but then you can't use that compost on your vegetables because it's got way too much dog poop in it. And most even like industrial compost facilities still won't take these either because of the dog poop. Ultimately, these still have to end up in landfill. All that to say, it's still not gonna decompose because biomaterials still don't decompose in landfill because of all the plastic and all the layers and stuff. It doesn't get the airflow and the organic matter that it needs to decompose. You'll learn more about that in the bioplastics video. I just finished watching The Story of Plastic, and plastic is so polluting all the way up until the end of life. Like we all know plastic is polluting the environment and turning into microplastics and stuff, but it's also the extraction of the petroleum that is harmful to people and the planet, as well as the production of turning that oil into plastic. The whole entire life cycle of plastic is so detrimental to our health and the health of the planet. So that's why I think biomaterials are still better. They don't cost much more, if any more, than regular. A big perk is they have this cardboard core instead of a plastic core, so that's a big plus. And at least by buying these, you're not contributing to the harmful process of making plastic. Again, not the best swap, but I still think it's a step up above plastic, even though it still won't decompose in landfill. That was enough of a sad note. I don't think I have a few more that I'm like not too happy with. This video is not sponsored by any of these brands. These are all my honest opinions, and I don't hate any of these brands. I just have critiques. But moving on to a happy note, I have my socks. I did a big sock review. Again, I love doing brand reviews where I buy a bunch of the same object but from different brands and comparing them. So I've got, I'll throw the names up on the screen because I honestly forget the names of all these socks, except this one's Allbirds. These are my favorite, hands down. Well, it depends. Initially, I hated pretty much all of them except for the Allbirds. They were all too thick for me, but then I got them in the summer. So that was the big issue, was having them in the summer. I still think I'm gonna hate these socks in the summer. I need more thin socks for summer like these ones, but these socks are amazing in the winter. They're so great for wearing around the house. And we went on a bunch of trips up to the mainland of Japan where it was actual winter, because in Okinawa it only gets like 60 or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. But up north it was down like in the single digits Celsius, so like 30s, 40s Fahrenheit. And these socks kept my feet relatively warm. So I have really bad circulation. I can talk more about that in like a Q&A get to know me type video, but these socks are awesome. Just want to say that some of these are like I love them and now I don't like them, and some of them are I hated them and now I love them. We'll just do like a 1 for 1. We'll do one good, one bad, except that was 2 and then 1. So we'll do another good one. This brand I never talked about even on Instagram, and that is Green Goo. So I found this brand at our local store. Our store on base, it's called the BX, the Base Exchange. It's kind of like your average Target, I guess. Not as good as Target. But anyway, we found their deodorant. And it's like the only locally made deodorant we could find. It still came in plastic, but it was like aluminum free, natural, and so forth. And then I found this little tin. They have a lotion cream and then this like first aid cream. It helps with all these different ailments. And I really thought, I gotta try this for myself. I gotta see if it's all it's cracked up to be. Now, if you can see here, all of my mosquito bites, I always get eaten by mosquitoes, and one got stuck in our house and it keeps getting me in my sleep. This stuff is amazing. So growing up, again, I've always just been targeted by mosquitoes. Hydrocortisone, no matter what ointment I put on my mosquito bites, they would still itch so bad to the point where I would just get all of these scabs and scars, and it was so bad. This stuff stops the itching almost immediately. It is amazing. It comes in aluminum. How cool. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Green Goo, a brand I've never really seen anybody talk about, and honestly I didn't know about until I just stumbled upon it. And they're a really great brand. Okay, time for a sad one. Again, don't hate this brand or this product. Ooh, this is really gross. But it's our soap saver bag. So I think I talked about this in my bathroom essentials video. Some of these don't have their own dedicated review, and this one is Eco Roots, but they are in my eco bathroom video. This is a great idea. You can put soap scraps in here so that you don't have to throw them away. They don't fall out of your hand and wash down the drain. So it saves your soap scraps. But this thing gets disgusting. So then you put all your soap scraps in here and you use it kind of like a loofah. It takes forever for it to foam up, as well as ugh, it is so gummy. Like the soap doesn't dry in here, so it just turns into this mush. And overall, so honestly, I don't even know if I would recommend this. I wish there was a better option to save soap scraps. I mean, yeah, you can. What I did before we had this was I would take the small piece of soap and get the big piece of soap wet, both of them, and then just kind of mush them together with my hands. It works pretty well to save that soap scrap, but I was really hoping this would be better. And it wasn't. So that's unfortunate. But I do have some more Eco Roots products to review that I actually do like. The first one being this calendula flower toner. So I've never been like a beauty person, never used a toner before. I just Googled quick like eco toner, and this one came up. It smells so good. And it works really well. I try to use it every night. I'm not very good at using it. And I like the way it works. My only complaint is that it's really small. I think this was like $12. But it is mostly ingredients you can find at like your local drugstore and just make yourself a bigger batch besides like the calendula flowers, but that's not really necessary. So I'll probably end up just trying to make my own toner one day or find a cheaper one. At least it came in glass, so mostly pros. The only con is it's a little pricey. Right alongside that from Eco Roots is this face soap bar. But wow, I love this thing. This thing, it suds up so well. It feels so good on my face, and I feel like my face gets actually clean using it. I've never used a face bar before. This is the first one I've used, and I love it. And we've had this, Dan and I both use this every day, and we've had it for months. And all of this stuff from Eco Roots came plastic free. Okay, let's do one that I'm not so happy with. And this is Next Door Naturals deodorant. This is a local brand to Kadena specifically, not even just Okinawa, but like it's a military spouse who makes this stuff, and they moved. So it's not even here anymore. But I talked about this again in my bathroom eco swaps video. I tried a natural deodorant from our local store, the BX, and it gave me such a bad reaction. I got bumps all over my arms. So I had to quit. I had to find something else pronto. So I found this. In theory, it's really good. It is aluminum free, all natural, but the big downside is it's made mostly of avocado oil, mango butter. There's also beeswax and a whole bunch of essential oils. So this is a really oily deodorant, which means my shirts get so oily. So my shirts look like they have sweat stains on them, but really it's just oil stains from this deodorant. So I really, really don't like this. I mean, it smells good, it works good, but my shirts are all oily now. So that's really sad. So I will not be purchasing that again, even if they were still here. Just not my taste. But moving on to a good note is concentrated. Love concentrated. There's 8 eco bars. I didn't grab them all. I did grab 4 of them though. So currently I think there's 9 bars now. There's only 8 available when I ordered, but there's a face bar now. But this is a amazing brand. Water-free, plastic-free, palm oil-free. This is the dish soap block, bathroom bar. There's a kitchen bar, a hand bar, and then the shampoo bar. We'll talk more about that later. But overall, I'm happy with every single bar except for the laundry bar. It's not my favorite, though it works really, really well as a stain remover. And you can check that video out, again, linked up here or below. I test a whole bunch of different stain removers. But yeah, they work really well. My only complaint still is that they're not scented, which isn't the biggest deal for like the cleaning bars, but I would really like a scented body bar or scented shampoo bar. Other than that, that's really all I have to say. I love the brand. I love the way the products work and so forth. And then moving right along to the shampoo bar. This one gets an honorable mention because it's my favorite shampoo bar I've ever tried. Granted, I have only tried like 4, but it foams up so well. I had to cut it in half to travel with it. I guess that's my one complaint about these bars is they don't fit in traditional like soap bar holders that you would take for traveling, but you can just cut it in half and it still works just as good. Speaking of stain removers, is this stain remover bar from BunchaFarmers. I hated it at first. Absolutely hated it just because it didn't work. But it turns out, just like with a dish soap block, I wasn't using it right. So that seems to be the theme with a lot of these, is that it's not the brand, it's not the product, it's user error. So I found out the best way to use a stain remover bar is you get the end wet, put it on your stain, rub it for like 30 seconds until it starts to get sudsy, and then you wet your hand and you rub the stain with your hand until it gets even more sudsy. That really helps get stains out. And again, you can check out more about that process in the stain remover comparison video. But now, this is one that I used to hate and I love. It's a water-free, palm oil-free, all-natural stain remover bar, and it works so well now that I know how to use it. Okay, we're gonna move on to some oral hygiene. Let's start with David's. So one of my big critiques I had with David's early on was this little thing, the key, I think they call it. It works great, obviously, as you can see. It helps push all of the toothpaste up to the end, but they give you a key with every box you buy. So this piece of metal is wasted every single time. There should be an option to buy the key separately. You can buy one and use it forever instead of having to get key after key after key after key and wasting that precious metal. Critique number 1. Critique number 2, this tube is so hard to clean. I thought it was gonna be so much easier to just cut open, wash out, but honestly, I mean, I probably wasn't using the best scissors, but it's so difficult to cut. And then because aluminum likes to hold its shape pretty well, especially this aluminum, sheath thick, like all of those little like divots stay. And it's so hard to get toothpaste out of all of the nooks and crannies. So it makes cleaning it really hard, which makes recycling it really hard. Again, like, oh, and it's fluoride free. Like, I really, really wanted to love David's. It's still a really good toothpaste for sure, but I didn't end up loving it as much as I thought, honestly. And I'm really excited to try more toothpastes when I move back to the States, which is really soon. By the time you're seeing this, I'll probably already be in the States. So stay tuned for a big toothpaste comparison video, because I'm sure that's gonna be coming soon now that I'm stateside. I would still buy David's again, but I have a lot of critiques. Now, a company that's gonna surprise you is Tom's of Maine, and it's probably gonna surprise you because look at this bad boy, she plastic. There's some really some big perks with Tom's, and first is they have a fluoride option. Second, with Tom's, they are certified B Corp. How cool is that? The plastic is also BPA free and it's recyclable. That's the big thing with Tom's. Like, yes, David's is recyclable, but Tom's is a recyclable plastic tube. And you might be wondering, like, what do you even mean? Aren't all tubes plastic? Aren't they all recyclable? No. Most toothpaste tubes are a plastic aluminum combo, because if you notice, a normal toothpaste tube will hold its shape, like the David's. When you push it flat, it stays flat. But this, as you can see, you push on it and it bounces back because it's 100% plastic. Look at me, an environmentalist, talking about how great this plastic is. Sorry, it just got really dark. Thanks, Typhoon. The other great perk of this over David's is it's so much easier to clean because it holds its shape. So it's really easy. What we did was we just cut it off right here at the base once we got done with it. We have a toothpaste saver as well that we slide along to get all the toothpaste out. Cut off the bottom, use whatever's left, and then you wash the top and the bottom. Throw it in your plastic recycling and call it a day. Now, obviously, plastic recycling is imperfect. Seeing brands trying to take this initiative, I think it's really awesome. Is NYX. So this is my most recent brand review. I look so silly. Okay, that's enough. I do have some big critiques that I talked about in that video. This bottle is plastic, but you keep this bottle forever and they send you the concentrate and then you add the water at home. It's a great concept. I wish this bottle was made out of glass. And then I wish the refills were a little bit bigger too, so you didn't have to order refills so frequently. So some cons there, but obviously a lot of pros. It is a water-free company, a natural company, no alcohol, and then they send you the refills and you make your mouthwash at home. So it's kind of a DIY, but also they do all the hard work for you, like formulating everything. So it's really fun. And if you want to catch the full review again, it'll be linked down below. I wish the flavor was a little bit stronger, and I guess to combat that, you could just add another scoop. But so far, so good. Dan and I both love this. We haven't had mouthwash in years because of the wastefulness. So we're really happy to have a mouthwash now. The next one is Pela case. I have been using Pela case for years. I did an initial review, and then just like the poop bags, I did a video trying to see if the case would actually decompose at home, and it does. That really makes me like Pela even more. The fact that, and I didn't even put it in my compost. I put it in dirt, like just straight up dirt, and it's still decomposed. So I think that's really awesome. But if you don't even have dirt, you can send your case back to them and they'll do the composting for you. That's the big pro of Pela, is it does decompose, and if you can't do it yourself, they'll do it for you. Big downside to Pela is they still don't make cases for every device. I get the comment all the time about how people are like, I love the concept of Pela, but they don't make a case for my phone, which is really sad because they've been creating a whole bunch of new products. Like when I first ordered my case, they didn't have this. They call this the Gripply, I think. I love it. I absolutely adore my Gripply. That's a new product. They have AirPod cases now. They have Apple Watch bands that are compostable. Blows my mind. So I think that's really cool. They're inventing more and more and more products that are compostable. Definitely the way forward. Plastic is not. But I wish that they made options for every device, like even including iPads. How cool would that be? I would buy one if they made one for iPads. So unfortunately, people out there are still having to revert to plastic cases because they don't have cases for every device yet. And then the last brand that I would like to talk about today is Tushy. Honestly, if I had to pick a favorite eco swap, it's my bidet, hands down. So like I talked about in our Tushy installation / review, ever since moving to Japan, I've loved bidets. Bidets, you know, kind of as a Westerner, freaked me out a little bit. I don't know why, but once I moved to Japan and saw how normal it was, I just fell in love. They reduce waste and make you feel so much cleaner. I knew I was gonna love it. I definitely still love it. It actually does help you save waste. We were using so much toilet paper before. I swear we had to buy toilet paper all the time. But now we use like less than 1 roll per week between the two of us. I don't know what like the average is, but we use significantly less toilet paper now. So it really does help you reduce waste. My only critique, and this is probably just, you know, me living in Japan, is it's not as good as a Japanese bidet. And it's probably because all these Japanese brands have been doing bidets for years. They've really mastered it. Bidets in Japan, the whole toilet, the whole system is the bidet. So it's like it's more mechanical, and I don't know, I just think it's a smoother, a nicer stream of water, while Tushy's is a bidet attachment. So it still works really well for being a bidet attachment. So you know how like on a garden hose, whoa, stay with me, I promise there's a point. You know on a garden hose, there's like different settings. I feel like the setting for the Japan bidets is like stream. Tushy's is almost like fan setting. Like I feel like my entire butt and sometimes even like my legs get wet. So a big critique there for Tushy, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I still use it, still love it, still recommend it. You're welcome for the TMI. Something special about Tushy is I see all over the internet Tushy installation videos, but because we're moving, we have to uninstall our Tushy in like 15 days. We only have 2 more weeks left with it. But because we're moving soon, we have to uninstall our Tushy. So I'm gonna make a Tushy uninstallation video. If you're interested in that, I'll probably just make it like a quick little Monday upload. Hopefully we don't flood our bathroom this time. We learned our lesson. And again, if you want to see any in-depth reviews of these brands, every single brand review video I've made will be linked down below. And if there's any more brands that you'd like to see me review in the future, let me know. Just so you know though, you don't have to comment these on my radar that I really want to try: Leaf Shave, The Last Swab, Hey Humans toothpaste, and I think that's it for now. So if you have any more brands besides those and besides the one I've already reviewed on this channel, let me know what you'd like to see. Thank you so much for your time, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. I know this was kind of long, but I felt like this video was necessary to make because all my reviews are initial thoughts, so I wanted to give more in-depth thoughts as I've used these products over time. So I hope this was helpful. If you found any value in this, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. I talk about all sorts of things: zero waste, free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste in particular. This is more of the easy and fun, not so much free. You do have to pay for these products, but these products are not as expensive as you think. A lot of them do equal the same as they would be if you were buying the convenient plastic products. But that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember that these small changes you make have a big impact in the long run. Bye guys. I thought it was gonna be... First, they have a fluoride option. I don't know what the normal... Why am I talking? A lot of my videos are instant thoughts, first thoughts, initial review, I'm so tired.